the moment you unlock your phone, you're making a series of choices. Which app to open, what button to tap, how much time and money you actually spend. What you might not know is that you may have been nudged into each choice. Do you see that red bubble on top of your apps? It's red by design. App designers know that the color red captures your attention, so you're more likely to go into the app and make it go away. In this episode, I'm going to take a deeper dive into how we might be quietly nudged into certain online behaviors. And can we hack back? While the most popular stuff on the internet is free, they are actually paid for with eyeballs, which is why apps are built to lure you in and keep you glued.
We integrate business problems into our curriculum and training.
Daylon So knows all about the tricks to do just that. He used to design apps and websites for companies that sell financial and gaming products. Now he's a trainer for aspiring app designers. Wow, we have a color wheel here. This looks very impressive.
And what we're going to do is to place these popular Android and iOS apps on the color wheel. I'm going to hand over dating apps to you.
Tinder is very hot red.
I'm going to put some finance-related apps over here. If you notice a trend, that would be a lot of dating apps are using warmer colors. Especially for Tinder, you have a flame over there and it's red, so it kind of hints at a very exciting and spicy experience. Trust Bank is actually a new bank in Singapore. So
Using blue.
Using blue helps them get that credibility. Blue helps to convey a sense of reliability.
And here's an example of how much impact color has on you. In 2009, Google tested 41 shades of blue in their advertising links. The winner? A purplish shade of blue like this. Links with this color saw more click-throughs, earning the company an extra $200 million in advertising revenue. The reason was simply this particular shade was just far more conducive for clicking. With so much vested interest tied to making us glued to our screens, a group of healthcare professionals from 13 Asia-Pacific countries were compelled to set screen time limits for children and adolescents. In a 2021 joint statement, they called for daily screen time in that age group to be limited to 2 hours or less. But a survey that same year found that teens in Singapore were spending nearly 3.5 hours on their devices, nearly double the limit. You're probably drawn more to this side of the screen as it's more colourful. Grayed visuals by comparison are just less appealing. So if your entire screen was grey, maybe it might be easier for you to put your phone down and do something else. To recruit teens for the experiment, I put out this call. If you've got a child aged 16 and below and are looking to help them reduce their screen time, then we have an opportunity for you. If you're interested, give us a call. And we received over 100 responses. We picked 3 teens who wanted to cut their screen time but can't seem to get their hands off their phones.
It's more of an addiction. Once you start, you can't stop.
So every single day, I would usually spend 5 to 6 hours playing games on my phone.
And you just tend to forget that, oh, I still have people that I can talk to aside of my devices.
2 months before the N-levels, I realized I was doing terrible. So I asked my friend to set a time screen limit for me.
I started playing when I was in primary school. So this really took a very heavy toll on my grades.
With the screen time set, I realized I had withdrawal symptoms of not being able to use my phone and feeling angry. This is when I realized this is a problem that I have to resolve.
Things look a lot more boring when they're greyed out, don't they? Will this be the game changer for teens who are hoping to spend less time on their phones? Phoebe, Yongjun, and Shirini are among the 100 over parents and teens that responded to my casting call on social media.
When I pick up my phone, the first thing I would normally do is to open Instagram and to watch any story or like any post. It has come to a point where it's just an urge. Without me knowing it, I'll just click on Instagram or TikTok. It does disrupt my sleep.
I stay up into late hours and watching my Netflix and YouTube episodes.
And I would keep saying to myself, oh, let's stop at 11, 11:05, 11:30, until it's almost midnight, and I realized I've been watching my phone for so long.
So when I'm supposed to be sleeping at 10:30, I will end up sleeping at maybe 11, maybe 12.
Usually, when I'm not using my phone, I will have like this sense of discomfort.
I would spend more time on my devices than my grandma. There are times where I feel like, man, what am I doing? She's not gonna be around for my whole life.
I want to reduce my screen time.
We will help these teens fight their screen addictions by turning their devices grey for a week. But before we do that, we are surveying them for their average screen time and sleep each day, as well as measuring their moods using a scientifically formulated questionnaire which will determine where they stand on the adolescent wellbeing scale. They will be surveyed again at the end of the experiment, which begins now.
Okay, oh,
Yeah, it's all grey. I'm so angry. I want my colours back.
Colorless. I feel colorless.
So I just had dinner with them. It's supposed to reduce your time screen when it's...
Oh, no, I don't think that will reduce my screen
Really?
time.
Nope. So this is my life. Even my Instagram and WhatsApp and TikTok is gonna be black and white.
For this evening, I actually went outside to have dinner because I was kind of sick of watching TikToks the whole day because it was getting kind of repetitive with the black and white.
day 1 and day 2 I was pretty chill. But when I hit day 3, I was starting to get annoyed with the whole black and white situation.
It's now at around
If screen colours, or the lack of them, have such an impact on our teens, I wonder if the power of colours can be used as a nudge for good instead. Turns out, a study conducted in a Chinese university found that colours may well have an impact on altruism. They found that participants were more willing to donate when viewing a page with a blue background than a red one. But the study didn't require the participants to fork out real money. Perhaps it's time to put the study to the test on a real donation site. I'm meeting Danny Lim, and he's one of the designers of the free crowdfunding platform Give.Asia. At any point in time, they have at least 100 live campaigns awaiting donations, many of them for children in need of medical care. So I came across this study that suggested that when the background is blue, people are more likely to donate. And I kind of want to test that theory out. So could I kind of change the background to blue on your site?
Changing the whole background to blue is going to be a bit of a challenge.
So we can't do that?
We probably wouldn't be able to do that. But what I would recommend would be to change the donate buttons instead. So we can see whether a blue donate button results in more clicks.
Okay, so at the moment your donate button is hot pink.
Yep, it's hot pink because that's our brand corporate color.
So that would be a control?
Yes.
Okay, and then we can experiment by having a blue button as well?
Yeah. So this is called an A/B test. The A/B test will determine randomly who will see what colors. Some of people could see the blue, some people could see the hot pink. But they have no idea that they're being tested the whole time, so that we preserve the integrity of the experiment. Through that, then they will, just decide whether they want to click on the button. So after about 5 days, we should be able to get, statistically significant results, and then figure out which one is the winner in terms of who clicks on which button the most.
What do you think is going to happen?
To To be honest, I'm a little bit on the skeptical side. It's literally just changing the color of the button, so I'm not sure how big of a difference it'll be. But let's find out.
Here I am with my friend Adarsh. Hi! So today we are at Jewel. This morning I had more inclination to meet with my friends and socialize more, but I'm still trying to adapt to the grayscale on my phone.
This game is complete in grayscale, black and white colors, and it makes it seem so boring.
I can't check myself out. Imagine if there's something on my face. Then I'm not able to see how my face actually looks like. Me not being able to see the extra details on my face is just really sad.
A study found that people were more willing to donate when looking at a blue page over a red one. I put that theory to the test on a real donation platform to find out if colour could really change the number of donations it received. It has been 5 days and Danny has some news for me. So you got the results of the test that we started 5 days ago.
Yeah, it's definitely surprising to me. Guess what? The winner is blue. A total of 12,000 people saw the blue and hot pink buttons. They were randomly assigned into two groups. 6,000 people saw blue and 138 of them actually donated. So there's a 2.14%. For hot pink is 113 donations. In terms of conversion, we have hot pink at 1.74%.
Wow. And blue's the winner?
Clear winner. Between blue and pink, 0.4% increase, and that's actually pretty significant. It's literally about 25 donations over a course of 4 to 5 days.
5 days, yeah.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
Fascinating. Colour really makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. I didn't fully believe until I saw the results. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to use this data and maybe keep the blue button?
We are seriously considering this. The increase is too alluring for us to ignore.
Why did more people donate with a blue button than with a pink one? Is it preference, or is there some science behind all of this? I'm seeking out Dr. Beville Conway. Hey, Dr. Conway, great to meet you. He's a neuroscientist that researches how humans see and perceive colour. How come blue won, I wonder?
Blue is a universally preferred color. Partly it has to do with the parts of the world that are blue colored are like the sky and the ocean. It's this idea that everything else can screw up in the world, but at least the sky will stay blue. So we have these abstract associations that are then attached to colors, sturdiness and consistency, and has come to be ascribed to blue. That's why Facebook and IBM have adopted blue as their logos.
So do you think we're wired, or are we conditioned in colour?
I think we are hardwired to get meaning out of color. You have as much brain involved in seeing color as you do in recognizing faces. So it's a huge neural resource that is being spent to try and understand and pull apart and create meaning out of the color information in the world that is received by the eyes.
All this neural resource makes our understanding of colour feel like reflex. That's how we know red in this context symbolises prosperity. But here, it's used as a warning. We get meaning out of colour so quick, it's actually powerful enough to affect behaviour.
Hey guys, so it's currently coming to the end of my grayscale experiment. I feel more bored. That's why I also put down my phone more often. Then I would get bored and then pick the phone back up. This actually might cause me to have lesser concentration time.
I realized that I have been avoiding my phone a lot lately. I find it easier to close my apps now. But with that being said, I am using my other devices more, like my iPad and my laptop.
I just came home from a staycation with my friends at Sentosa. We took a lot of selfies and group pictures, but all I see on my phone is black and white pictures. I get really annoyed, irritated. So I'm proud to say that I haven't failed the Greyscale challenge yet, but I don't think my habits change.
I'm about to meet the teens that were involved in the Greyscale experiment to curb their screen time. It's been a week and I'm here to collect the post-experiment data. It's time to find out if going grey helped nudge them off their phones. You're all done? Let me collect them back from you. Thank you. So did you all successfully stick to the Greyscale throughout the whole experiment?
I stuck throughout the Greyscale experiment.
Okay.
It was easy for me, but at certain points it was quite annoying.
To be honest, I did cheat a bit by
Okay.
turning it off at times because it was an actual necessity. Because I deal with a lot of Excel sheets in school, so I like to color code stuff. Because I actually needed the color.
Right.
If not, I couldn't
For
do
homework?
And also to check myself out sometimes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Switch.
Greyscale drop.
Wow.
The first few days was quite hard for me to adapt to the new screen. It's because it's getting more boring with the black and white, and also all my friends all have the colored screen,
Right.
and then I don't. So it's a bit like being left out. Towards the end, it's gotten a bit more easier to cope.
So, with Greyscale, do you feel that same urge to go to social media or games?
The urge is gone for me. So in the past, there are random times in class I would feel a strong feeling to pick up my phone. But after this whole Greyscale situation, I did not have the urge at all. For Instagram, it's not as craveable or as appealing as before.
It was easier for me to get off the app. My games, Monopoly Go, the whole game was colorless, so it became boring and I was not interested in playing the game as often as I did.
So I also had a less of urge to use my phone to play games. But an additional thing is that I like to watch some nature videos, but then you can't see the greenery and the different colors of nature. So it's quite frustrating for me because I can't fully immerse myself inside the experience.
So when you found yourself going out with friends and family, did you find yourself being more present?
I definitely spent more time with my grandma. So my grandma is this very big TV person. I didn't really lock myself up and stayed with my grandma rather than staying on my phone.
When I go out with my friends to eat, right, I find myself putting down my phone more. So we actually had a lot of fun without just using our phones.
So during the experiment, did you all sleep earlier?
No, because I don't have self-control and discipline, so Greyscale wasn't effective for
effect.
me. I would still be on my phone on TikTok at 12 all the way to 3.
I feel that at the start of the Greyscale experiment, I was still sleeping quite late, but as the days progressed, I was sleeping slightly earlier.
For me, right, it actually worked quite well because last time I would sleep at around midnight, but then now it's just black and white. Instead of just scrolling through, I'd rather just sleep and have some rest.
Thank you for doing the experiment. Thank you for hanging in there. I think it's time for you to change back to colour.
Okay. So happy. What? Oh my gosh. No way. Shopee changed to red color. I thought it was orange.
Oh, it's red now.
Right?
I love it.
You love
It's
it.
amazing.
I couldn't see people's profile in colors.
I never knew it was this bright. I thought it would be much duller, but then it's very, very bright.
Under Greyscale, all 3 teens saw a drop in their average screen time per day. Phoebe's screen time reduced by 15 minutes. Yongjun's went down by 45 minutes. And Shirini's reduced by 52 minutes, the biggest drop among them.
Going Greyscale clearly helped nudge the teens off their phones, but did it improve their mood and their sleep? I'm going to take the results to Dr. Serene Ko.
She's a behavioral scientist that designs and tests nudges.
Considering how difficult it is for teenagers to use their phones less, this, I would say, is quite successful.
So I think all of them had this urge to check social media before going Greyscale, but during Greyscale, there wasn't that kind of urgency to check social media apps.
Right. There are actually two factors at play. So on the one hand, people want to keep up with their friends, but there's obviously something else at play, which is the attraction of the color and the saturation. App designers use colors to draw attention. It's because colors give you a certain kind of joy. It brings out certain emotions in you, it heightens your response. And so once you have taken that away, the joy and the appreciation that you get from the phone is no longer there, right? So even though your friends are still doing the same things, you just don't feel like checking it as much.
And I get the impression all three of them were quite frustrated with being in Greyscale.
We also collected well-being measures. Broadly speaking, Yongjun showed no change. Sharini said that she felt less cheered up and more bored. And Phoebe said that she slept better, which is great. However, she also felt more lonely. To a degree, it's almost like withdrawal. And so it is not surprising that they have felt this level of frustration. For people who are motivated and they feel they only need to reduce their phone usage by 10 or 20% more, I think turning your phone grayscale is a fairly safe, easy way to help you along that path.
We don't quite notice it, but colours are a subtle yet striking way that websites encourage us to spend more time and money online. Killing it by going grayscale is one gentle way to fight back. Although given the outsized role that our devices play in our social lives and in turn our well-being, this solution isn't for everyone.
I can't be using my phone in grayscale because people would think I'm insane. I am equally as addicted to my phone and I'm equally as distracted by my phone as I was before.
Will I ever go back to grayscale? The answer is no.
After my experiment, right, I actually have a special kind of feeling, right? I want to go back to grayscale. I thought that I would just want to stick back to my colored phone, but it's quite right for me. So yeah, thanks for having this interesting experience with me. Thank you.